SeatGeek. For all your ticketed events, from sporting to concert outings, SeatGeek has you covered. They even conveniently color-coded each ticket on their website from amazing to worst, so you can easily know which are the best deals. SeatGeek, the smart way to buy. Save $20 off your next ticket purchase with the promo code. Hey everybody, I'm your host, Greg. I got the also known as the Big Cat, my cool cat. Put your paws up if you're rocking with the Big Cat. Today we're here to do a reaction video to Ron Rivera's press conference. What the fuck is he lying about? Now we'll talk about it, but one quick before we get started. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Big, strong, yes, all day long. Do you look at blah, blah, blah? If you look at blah, 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 give me that dab. Yes, give me that dab. Today we're going to talk about Ron Rivera's press conference and what he has to say about this Niners loss. Let's get into it. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss a video. I got to give a very special thank you and a brand new welcome to my brand new affiliation with Sirius Satellite XM. If you guys are looking to listen to the Carolina Panthers game on the radio, go to the promo code down in the YouTube description box. Listen, if you have not caught a Carolina Panthers game on the radio, fantastic. You know, a lot of you guys work. Some of you guys are out of state, doesn't get that coverage. Well, Sirius got you covered. Go ahead down below for offers and details. Now, with that being said, we need to find out what Ron's talking about. What happened at 49ers game? What's going to happen for? Let's play the first clip.
Last Monday, I think you told us, Ron, that Kyle would be the starter. Will he start again this week?
He'll start again. I mean, again, Cam's in the middle of his rehab program. He's doing the things that we're asking of him. You know, and we'll go ahead and start Kyle.
All right, so pretty much on his first response, you know, they asked him about Kyle Allen and Cam knew his health. Well, he said we're starting Kyle. Smart move, the right move, all right? My man needs to heal out all the way. All right, 100%. I don't want no 85%. I don't want no excuses. I don't want none of that shit. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of hypotheticals. Get your ass back at 100% and let's roll. All right, so this is the right move. I know a lot of you guys don't want to see Kyle Allen in, but I think Kyle Allen is our best option right now. And I think also after I chewed their ass out on that medical staff, I think it got back to them boys and they said, you know what, we better pump our brakes. So they're going about this the right way. So kudos for them guys sticking to their gun even after a big loss like this.
Exactly that, just move forward. I mean, we're going to learn from what happened. You break the tape down, you look at some of the things that happened. You know, defensively, looking at the things that we did, we were probably very poor in our gap discipline, very poor with our eye discipline in terms of looking at things. You know, they do a lot of things to get you to look at the wrong thing, and we did, quite honestly, instead of looking at things that we're supposed to. And that led to some of our problems, some of our issues. We ended up playing behind the ball. You know, and by that I mean we've got to be able to get to our creases, and if our creases are in front of the ball, we force the ball to stay in between. But when you get behind and you see an opportunity to go and try and make a play and you don't, you get yourself in trouble. And quite honestly, that's what happened. You know, and as I said too, there's some things I probably needed to do as you know, as a coach to say, hey, look, you know, let's try this, let's do this. We did a couple of those things and they worked, but then they countered them. You know, and as I said too,
there's some things I probably needed to do as you know, as a coach to say, hey, look, you know, let's try this, let's do this. We did a couple of those things and they worked, but then they countered them.
And then it goes back to us making plays or not making plays. This game came down to about 5 plays on our defense that, you know, we typically have handled. And, you know, you can survive 1 or 2, but you can't survive, you know, 4 or 5 explosive plays.
Now, if you've seen, I rewinded a certain part in that clip twice. My man said there were certain things that I needed to do to adjust, and I did them, but they countered them. What does that mean? That means your ass got out-coached. You got out-coached. Two-time coach of the year got out-coached. I mean, listen, I understand sometimes game plans fall apart, but that's when your ability to improvise makes you a very special coach. And you got out-coached, bottom line. I get the gap discipline. I get, you know, the game plan that y'all had. When you see the shit's not working, that's when you need to come up with something on the fly. That's why you get paid the big bucks. Okay? I don't understand after 2 weeks, why don't you have a backup plan installed? Okay? You need to have a game plan going into this thing. You need to have a game plan in case the game plan breaks down. All right, that's what a good coach does. Okay, in case this shit goes awry, I got something else for your ass. But instead, you want to tell me what went wrong, gap discipline. I can see with my own eyes gap discipline fell apart, but I didn't see with my own eyes where your ass didn't step it up and counter that. Yeah, you got out coached and you admitted it right there. So I mean, if you want to be fair, a big chunk of this loss belongs to you. And obviously, you're not going out there with shoulder pads, but yeah, nonetheless, you know, your scheme it fell apart on your ass, and then your backup plan or your adjustment fell apart on your ass. So you got our coach, buddy. That's a short term for it.
What did you see after watching film on Kyle? I know it's not all his fault, but what did you see that he needs to get better at?
Well, probably the biggest thing is he's got to be patient. You know, listening to Norv and Scotty and talking to them about what happened, what was happening during the game, and then after they've had a chance to break it down and look at it, is that Kyle sped some things up when he didn't need to. He had a little bit more time. He probably anticipated a little too much. He needed the time to take what they gave him. You know, probably one of the disappointments is that we ran the ball effectively, and you know, if we do some other things on the offense, we give ourselves an opportunity to try and run the ball more. You know, Christian was having a good day doing those things, but unfortunately we didn't. And, you know, as a whole, we've got to give ourselves a chance, especially against a very good team like that.
I tell you what, man, y'all coach slick. He's slick. He's slick. I didn't like what he did there. You know, he kind of pretty much he put the blame on Kyle Allen. Yeah, he sped it up. He rushed things. Let me see. I wonder why he rushed things. Maybe 7 sacks. Nick Bosa busting out your jaw. Yeah, maybe that helped right there. Lineman let motherfucker through like an open gate. Yeah, I think that'll speed your clock up too. He didn't have time all day, okay? There were a couple throws he did miss that were wide open, but to say that he had time, he sped up his clock. I guarantee you, I put you out there against Nick Bosa, Buckner, and the rest of those 5 former first-round picks. I guarantee your ass will be speeding your clock up too, but I don't like that. Sucker shit. I didn't like that. He dissed him, man. I mean, pretty much, and try to keep it classy, man, but nah, man, it wasn't like that, man. It was the fact that he was out there getting hit and rushed and hurry. 7 sacks to make you speed your time clock up. And again, your ability to improvise, Norv Turner as well, when you see your quarterback struggling or you see your offensive line struggling, your ability to improvise and come up with different schemes to counter this shit, it shows you we got our coach. We got our coaching. Yeah, the players, they got out-executed. Their players out-executed their plays against us, and we couldn't get it done for vice versa. So, yeah, man, it was just a real shit show. But to blame Kyle Allen, that's a sucker move. I don't like it at all.
You mentioned Dennis being your best option at left tackle. Is Greg still in the concussion protocol? Is he still in the process of getting back?
Yes, and he's, you know, we'll see how things are going. You know, I don't have to give you guys an update till Wednesday, which I will. But right now, he's still in the protocol.
With Greg, is that potentially a season ender?
No, what it is though is it's probably, you know, just as a result is that he had one during the summer, you know, and the last time we had a player that had that, you know, it was probably 5 to 6 weeks before he was, you know, he was cleared. So again, and I don't want to set any timetable because I have no idea, but I'm just telling you from past experience, that's where we are.
So did y'all hear what he said there? He said Dennis Daly our best chance at left tackle. Just get him the fuck out of here. Look, here's your pink slip. Just get the fuck out of here. I'll pay for moving expenses and all that shit. Look, man, no disrespect to Dennis Daly, man, but you're telling me going into a playoff run, going into a tough game stretch, you're going to rely on a rookie who's been playing good, by the way. He's been playing good. He has to have his moments of struggle because he's a rookie. You mean to tell me you're going to allow a rookie to have all that fucking pressure on him going into a playoff stretch and potentially Cam Newton coming back? And you're going to say that's our best option? Man, look, Herney, get on that fucking phone right now. Make a trade right now. Make a trade. I mean, Trent Williams out there, listen, we can get him on a 1-year deal. I mean, we might have to mortgage the house to get him, man, but if we're talking about Super Bowl or nothing, it's time to make that move, time to make that call. This is monkey shit right here, man. I mean, and Greg Little, he's still in the concussion protocol. You gotta wonder, is my man done? I mean, of course he's coming out saying, no, this is what happened in the past 5-6 weeks, but anytime a nigga can get his chimney rocked like that and be out 5-6 weeks, that ain't right. That ain't right. Something's not right there, man. So, I mean, let's go ahead and get a trade going for somebody. If it's not Trent Williams, get somebody else in there that can be a legit elite kind of tackle. But we need help, and no disrespect to Dennis Daly. I think he can hold his own, but he is not our best option at left tackle right now. If we're talking about Super Bowl bust, if we're talking about making it in the playoff, if we're talking about going down this tough stretch.
All gotten a little spoiled watching Luke stop so many running plays over the years, but What did San Francisco do to, I know he had the interception, but to nullify some of his impact?
I don't know if they nullified him as much, Scott, as they found the creases that we allowed. And a big part of it was, you know, again, as I said, we played behind the ball. And to me, that's very disappointing because, again, it's going to be hard against a wide zone team. The front's going to stretch, and you've got to be able to work to your crease. And when that crease gets long, it gets outside, you've got to bust your hump to get out there. And if you don't, the easy way out is to jump behind the play. And if you jump behind the play, you better make it, because if you don't, there's nobody in that gap. So we're a gap accountable defense. Every gap is supposed to have an individual in it. And if there's not a guy in that gap and they hit that crease, then you know who's accountable for it. Yesterday, as I've said before, this was not an issue of one guy. If it was one guy, we'd have taken that one guy out and put everybody else in that needed to be in. It happened to several different players, and that's the disappointment. Because, again, in football, I think, is the ultimate team sport. 11 guys doing what they're supposed to give you a chance to succeed. If not, they'll find the one spot. And yesterday they found it 5 times, and we paid the price because of it. So I don't think it was about nullifying Luke, because he was very productive. I mean, he had a solid day as a middle linebacker. He had the kind of day that we expect from him. Just unfortunately, we ended up on the wrong side of it.
Here we go. Here we go with this bullshit again. Listen, man, he wants to talk about this zone stretch, wide stretch, and he's right. When you're running that kind of offensive scheme as a defensive line, you're told to fight across, maintain your gap, so in case of cutback, you're there. But, again, he says not up to one guy that cost us this game. Yeah, I actually think it did come up to one guy. Yo ass. It came down to you. All right? If you're seeing your team struggle with something, and then you say you got out, he said, I tried some other things, and then they countered it. I mean, what are you doing here, buddy? Are you a one-trick pony? Tell you what, here, I can do your job for you. If my team is struggling with the outside or wide stretch, I'm sending a cornerback nickel blitz, all right? I'm walking my safeties up, because they didn't really pass on us like that. They had some tight end screens, and they had shit like that, but they didn't really go deep on us like that. They had some little short dink and dunk. I'm walking up safeties to bring out help. If I see my lineman is struggling with cutbacks, walk up a safety. Send a nickel blitz into the actual zone. If you think they're going to go zone left, send a nickel crashing into that left nickel. If they're going zone right, send a right. Put the nickel on the right side, send them in there. If you feel like you don't know, walk up a safety. How about that? To help out with gap support. What about that? You cost us this game on defense. There's no way in hell that the Carolina Panthers gave up 51 points because they just that bad. You got out fucking coached, and it shows. It shows, and I'm disappointed. Again, another primetime game where we lay down like dogs, and we take that ass whipping. Yeah, they ghost ride the whip on our ass. So again, we got out coached. It did come down to one man. If you see your defense is struggling, that's your job to come up with an alternate plan. Okay. And the plan that you said you did come up with, you said you got counted on that. So at this point, motherfucker, do you know what you're doing or what? I mean, let Eric Washington get back in there if you don't know how to counter shit. If you're gonna be giving up 51 points every time you get countered, so I don't know, man. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. The Big Kid doesn't like it.
Ron, you mentioned that obviously Kyle had a more difficult day yesterday than he had in the past. Did you get a sense that as the game went on and as he took some of those hits, that started to speed up his internal clock as well?
No, I think his internal clock was going fast to begin with. I think the thing that happened with him is he tried to do more than he needed to. Okay, he got out of his comfort level. You know, we saw how very cool and calm he'd been for the most part. We saw him taking the opportunities that he had in front of him. We saw more throws downfield than we had, you know, in the last 4 weeks, I think, from my perspective. He's a guy that stays within his own abilities. He can help us a lot. You know, we saw a little bit of that during training camp when he got out of it, tried to force things. But then when he got his opportunity against Arizona, you know, in the next few weeks, what did we see? We saw the very meticulous, very precise thrower. We saw him taking, you know, what was given to him. And the thing he's got to understand is, you know, you get that ball in Christian's hands or Greg Olson's or Curtis or DJ, you know, Jarius, you put the ball in their hands, they're going to make something happen for you. You don't have to do it all yourself, you know, and that's probably the biggest thing I think that Kyle learned from this is that, hey, you know, let's take what they give us and we'll see what happens.
Hey, real quick, has anybody seen Kyle Allen? Anybody seen Kyle Allen? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's under that bus that Ron Rivera just drove on him. sucker shit. He just threw him under that bus. He said the reason why he struggled because he sped up, and he said the pressure had nothing to do with it. The reporter asked him, "Do you think him getting his shit moved back a couple times sped up his reads?" Oh no, he had adequate time. 7 sacks, adequate time, huh? Get him the fuck out of here! Suck that shit, yeah. Yeah, disrespectful. And you know what? To add more disrespectful innuendos to this shit, my man said that he needs to learn that he doesn't have to do it all. Really? Are we talking about do it all? We're talking about do it all? I never heard him come out and say Cam needs to learn not how to do it all. And there have been games where we lost because he tried to do it all. But we don't ever get on here and do a press conference about it. Suck a move. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can call out Kyle Allen for doing too much and causing us a game, but you won't call out Cam? You know how many fucking games Cam lost because he tried to be Superman? And he even admitted that he's been caught up in this Superman hype. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, man. I need a fucking beer. I mean, hold on, y'all gotta get me a fucking beer. Fuck. I ain't got no more fucking beer, man. Let's move on to the next clip.
Ron, I know you talked about creases and where things were missed on defense and that sort of thing. Is this good tape for a coach, or is this to go back and look at with the guys of that game? I mean, because I know it's not going to be fun watching it again, but as far as the teaching aspect of it and the improvements.
Well, it's funny because that's one of the things that we all said is, hey, this is good teaching tape. You know, the unfortunate part is it's a bunch of negative plays, but we will learn from it. And that's one of the things that we told the players, that we have to be honest with ourselves and we got to learn from it. And when you look at it, there's a couple of plays. I talked about the Scott's point. I talked about, we play behind the ball, and you can't do that and expect to stop a good outside zone team like that. And then we talked about dirty eyes. Well, there's a couple of routes where we watch and we don't have our eyes focused where they're supposed to be, and the guy runs a dig route on us and catches one for 8 yards. If I got my eyes on my guy and he breaks out, I got a chance to intercept the ball like Luke does. And so that's really good teaching tape, because you'll see the example of what happens when you focus in on your guy, get into position, look back and make the interception, as opposed to I'm running downfield, I'm looking at the quarterback and the guy breaks and I don't see him. So this will be good teaching tape, most certainly. But unfortunately, it's on the wrong circumstances.
Why is it that we got to get our fucking brain split open for it to be teaching tape? If it's a teaching tape, nigga, you ain't teaching me. Get Brian Belichick or Bill Belichick, somebody teach it, because obviously you're not a good teacher. I mean, it is sad that you had 2 weeks to teach defensive backs, defensive line not to have dirty eyes, to teach defensive line to maintain their gap. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You are a product of what you practice. And Ron Rivera even came out and he said it during his interview. I didn't play it here, but he said it usually takes about 5,000 reps before something becomes second nature. Well, how long you been here? 9 years? What? 8 years? 9 years? Okay, your ability to teach these guys is very, very poor. I don't even know if these guys respect you like that. You may got a handful of guys. I don't know. But 2 weeks, you're a reflection of what you practice, man. You could tell Kyle Shanahan in 1 week, they had 1 week to study for our ass. You could tell he drilled their ass. Drilled their ass. You had 2 weeks. Drill you, maintain your gap, maintain your gap, maintain your gap. No dirty eyes, no dirty eyes. Don't bite on them, don't bite on eyes. Maintain your... And you could tell we were a product of, I don't know, maybe laziness, maybe overconfident, or maybe poor coaching.
The front office, do you get any sense that there could be movement at the deadline?
We'll see. We have a spot, and that's probably the really interesting thing we have right now. And we'll see what happens in the next few days.
You think you guys kept that open just for that potential?
Marty's got a plan, and we'll go through it.
All right, guys, we came to the end of this comedy show. Ron Rivera pretty much said that Marty Hurney has a plan for that final roster spot. So be on the lookout, man. Hopefully we can trade for offensive lineman, or hopefully we're not getting no damn receiver or any monkey shit like that. But we do need an offensive line. But I'm eager to see what this plan is. Marty Herney, shout out to you, man. He's been a hell of a GM. To me, he's the GM of the year. So, I mean, I have faith in whatever move he's about to make because he brought in McCoy. He brought in Irvin. He brought in Brian Burns. He traded up to get Greg Little. When healthy, he has been a stud. So, I'm excited about this. I just can't wait, man. Get in the comment section. I'm your host, Rene Gatto. Also, don't let the big cat, my cool cats, put your paws up. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about this, man. I mean, hey, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure you tune into the podcast. Google Podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, and the whole nine, man. Let's get up out here. Let the church say, damn. Don't forget to subscribe to the Carolina Panthers custom helmet giveaway video in the playlist. Once we hit 5,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away free a $300 retail value Marvel's Avenger Carolina Panthers helmet. Keep pounding.